It's now time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, iTunes, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. Mike brings you great guests and interesting people from all across the globe. So sit back, relax, and enjoy another great episode of the Mike Wagner Show.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all you need. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs at below the competition way. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support at sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at Facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, Apple, and more. Also, take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device and subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. We're here with a wonderful lady from Austin, Texas. She's a singer, songwriter, multi-instrumentalist who also has a website called girlguitar.com. She can talk about that and also a couple of her hits as well, too. You can also check her page at a website we're going to tell you about in just a minute. And she features one of the albums, which is Album of the Year, Top 10 Austin Musicians of the Year. And she's got some songs which are making a huge impact and getting a lot of attention on social media and won quite a few awards and has a purpose for Girl Guitar. And without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, live from the deep in heart, Texas, the very soon-to-be hot musician, Mandy Rowden. Mandy, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Hey there, thanks for having me. What an intro.
Well, what can we say? You're like the biggest thing in Austin, I'll tell you that. You know, just like the hot sauce.
I'm basking here. That was fun to listen to. Thank you.
Oh, no problem. Well, I'll tell you one thing. You've been a singer, songwriter, multi-instrumentalist for quite some time. You also have a website called girlguitaraustin.com, and you'll be talking about the purpose as well, too. You also got your own website, and you also have the album of the year called 1,000 Miles, and you're also one of the top 10 Austin musicians of the year as well, too. You got some songs we'd like to talk about and a couple we'd like to play. And before we get into all that, tell us how you got started.
Well, you know, I started out playing music when I was about 6 years old. That's when I began classical violin lessons, which was quickly followed by piano, and I played that all growing up, and I actually went to college on scholarships for both of those things, thinking I wanted to follow the classical route, but kind of changed my mind somewhere in there and had begun to play guitar. And I started writing songs, and I started, I guess, sort of losing interest in the really formal classical world and getting a lot more into what I call fun music, bar music, you know, music with beer, basically. And
I'm thirsty for a beer right now. Now that you mentioned the buzzword, I'm ready for one after this.
You know, if I'm being honest about it, but I was just in the mood for something that was a little more accessible, a little more human feeling for my taste, at least. And I found it playing around. I was going to college in San Marcos at the time, San Marcos, Texas, at Southwest Texas University, and I started working at a restaurant in Green, Texas. It's right next door to a really famous dance hall called Green Hall. Anybody in Texas who's listening to this knows exactly what I'm talking about. And it was just a really fun experience because I worked there, I just happened to be in the hall all the time, and I caught so much great music, and it just really lit this fire for me for songwriting, for roots music. And I really just kind of never looked back. That was that. I started writing and I ran with it.
Wow, that is amazing. And what was that one moment that influenced you into what you're doing today? What was that one moment that influenced you?
Well, you know, like all things, I think it was a culmination of moments. I wish I had a great aha lightning bolt story for you, but a lot of it was hanging out there around Green Hall, and there's a fantastic radio station in New Braunfels, Texas called KNBT, and I had come from a little town in East Texas which did not have anything rootsy or accessible in this way. And so it was my first introduction into like sort of the local scene, what I found out to be the Austin scene and the Texas country scene and all of that I was really completely unaware of before. I mean, I was 20 when this was happening, so I was still pretty young. And that, that was the thing. It was just sort of this process of like, wow, my eyes are open to this whole new world, and I'm totally intrigued by it, and I can play enough guitar that I'm pretty sure I can take a stab at writing songs, and so that's what I did, and it's just been like, down that hatch ever since.
Wow, that was the aha moment. I can just think of it right now. That was amazing. And who are some of your favorite artists and singers growing up?
Growing up, I didn't really have a lot of favorites. Part of my sort of weirdo story is that I was homeschooled and I was raised really religiously. And so I was very sheltered. And this was pre-internet, and I didn't grow up with pop culture. So I grew up with a lot of gospel and classical music. And I loved playing, and I performed in church a lot, and I played with the youth orchestra in the town where I lived. But it wasn't until college, really, that I got into, I guess mainstream music. In high school, I did have quite the thing for Tom Petty and for Weezer. Those were my big influences from an early age, I guess. But as I started getting into roots music, a lot of it was like, one of my first favorites was Lucinda Williams, quickly followed by Neil Young, and then it's just everything after that. Those are still two of my favorites that I quote a lot.
Wow, that is something as well, too. And we'll talk about a couple of your albums as well, too, when include Album of the Year. You listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at Facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, Apple, Stitcher, Deezer, and more. Also, take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device and subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel and coming near you to Podcast Addict. We're here with singer-songwriter, multi-instrumentalist Mandy Rowden from Austin, Texas. We talked about some of her upbringing as well, too, and the album of the year includes 1,000 Miles and voted number 2 album of the year back in 2015, These Bad Habits. Let's talk about the album of the year, 1,000 Miles. Let's talk about that, especially album of the year.
Okay, sure. 1,000 Miles was the second record I put out, and it came out in 2016, and to be perfectly honest, it was voted in the top 10 albums of the year, so I don't want to go running my mouth and making it sound like it was actually the number one. It was in the top 10, which is still something that I'm very, very proud of. But just to be clear, it was a great experience. I made it independently and recorded it at Treehouse Studios here in South Austin. It was just a really, really cool experience. I've been on the road kind of nonstop with the album before it called These Bad Habits, and I just had all these songs knocking around that I just kind of decided I wanted to go ahead and get down and kind of ride the energy that I had from the first album. So pretty immediately after These Bad Habits came out, we just got right back in the studio and knocked out 1,000 Miles, and it was just a great experience. My favorite song from that record has got to be Let Me In, which is one that you and I talked about earlier. And there's I don't know what there's so much to talk about.
Suddenly, let's go ahead and play the song. Here's Let Me In from Mandy Rowden right here on the Mike Wagner Show.
Days are long.
that is Let Me In on the Mike Wagner Show from Mandy Rowden, Austin, Texas. Mandy, that was fantastic, Let Me In. And what inspired you to write that song?
Well, musically speaking, I always do, I've been listening to just tons and tons and tons of Tom Petty. And I've been told that people can hear that in the song. And so I take that as a huge compliment. Tom Petty is one of my absolute favorite and biggest influences. So that had a lot to do with it, and it was a really fun one to record. We actually made a video for it, which I don't make a lot of videos, so that was a little bit of a unique thing for me. And it was a really fun one to do. I had a great time in the studio with that one.
Mm-hmm. That was amazing too. And you also got Pedal Upon Metal, and let's play that one, shall we? This looks like a really good one.
Thank you.
All right, here we go. Pedal to the Metal on the Mike Wagner Show with Mandy Rowden. Metal, Mandy Rowden on the Mike Wagner Show. Very impressive. And tell us all about that song and what inspired you to write it.
When I wrote Pedal Upon Metal, I had actually been spending a decent little chunk of time in Joshua Tree, California, hanging out around the national park there and the Joshua Tree Inn, which I don't know if your listeners are familiar with that kind of. There's a great rock and roll history out there, and a lot of it centers around Graham Parsons, who I'm a big fan of. Member of the Flying Burrito Brothers and the Byrds, and I was just listening to his music like crazy and just soaking up desert culture and having fun with it. And musically speaking, again, that's really what kind of inspired that song, was just my kind of venture down the rabbit hole of listening to Flying Burrito Brothers in the desert for several days on end.
Flying down the rabbit hole reminds me of, what was it, Alice in Wonderland or something?
Yeah, that's probably where I got that.
And you also have some songs, too, like San Antonio, Christmas in Durango, Flood Song, and more. You can just tell us briefly about that.
Well, I guess it's obviously I write a lot about places that I've been. I travel a good deal, and it works its way into my songwriting. So Christmas in Durango is a very literal title. I wrote that on Christmas Day of 2016.
Wow.
In a hotel room in Durango, Colorado, and my boyfriend and I had gone on a very last-minute, spur-of-the-moment vacation up there, and we were just badly in need of some R&R, and that's really what inspired the whole song. It's all kind of laid out there, and I always think that the idea of New Year's resolutions is kind of a silly concept. Everybody makes fun of it, and I realize it's kind of dumb, but I also really appreciate the concept of a clean slate, and that's sort of what I was looking forward to that particular Christmas, and so that kind of comes through in the song, where you get to kind of, at least in your head, if nothing else, sort of like put the year behind you and start over. That's what we needed, and that's what we got, and it was just really refreshing.
That is amazing, too. And let's talk about your new album, if you got one in the works. Also, do you plan on an upcoming tour in 2020?
Yeah, that last part cut out a little bit, but I am going to start working on a new album shortly, actually.
Okay.
So hopefully, if everything goes well, it'll be coming out in 2020. I don't have any definite dates yet, but I'm writing like a maniac. I'm trying to put the final pieces in place, and I'm just actually like dying to get back in the studio and get this ball rolling. I'm really excited about it.
And also, any plans for an upcoming tour in 2020?
Yeah, always. For starters, it's sort of a staple in my world that I go on the road during the summers because, like we were talking about before we got on the air, the summers in Texas can be pretty brutal. And I've been trying for years to make it to kind of engineer my life so that I don't have to spend summers in Texas anymore. And I've finally gotten there. So I have a pretty decent tour route in the Northwest that really kind of centers around being in Montana, which is one of my favorite places ever. So summertime, I'll be in Montana, probably dipping into Wyoming and Idaho, and potentially a chunk of the West Coast as well. That's my summertime beat. That
is amazing. We're looking forward to it, and love to have you back on 2020, and we'll talk about that. And also, we'll talk about Girl Guitar, but first, listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on themikewagnershow.com. You can check our Facebook page at facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, and Apple. Also on Stitcher, as well as Podcast Addict coming as well, along with Deezer and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. We're here with singer, songwriter, multi-instrumentalist Mandy Rowden from Austin, Texas. And we heard one of the songs, Let Me In, from 1,000 Miles, and also Paddle Upon Metal from her first album as well, too. We talked about some of her other songs, an upcoming tour, a new album in the works. But right now, you also have another venture called Girl Guitar. And tell us all about that and how you got that started.
Well, Girl Guitar is one of my favorite things in the world. I'm just endlessly proud to have begun this thing and to be part of it. But for lack of a better term, it's a music school in Austin for women, 21 and up, and it centers around kind of two different sides. One is acoustic guitar and songwriting, a lot of the kind of stuff that I do that we've been talking about now. And the other side of it is kind of a rock camp, which is the other side of what I do. And that's a blast. Like, these women sign up for, they can be the drummer, the bass player, the singer, guitar, whatever the band calls for. And so they spend the session of classes just rehearsing, and then everything ends with a big showcase. They're up on stage, they're showing off, they're get to celebrate what they've worked on and how far they've come. And it's a really, really neat experience. It's a really beautiful community. Lots of repeat students. I've got women who've been with me for over 10 years now.
Wow.
Taking classes and learning and playing. We're going on 13 years as a school now. And it's just it's just something I'm endlessly proud of. It's so much fun. I think it helps people. They're learning. They're, making friends. They're, sometimes making, I guess, dreams come true for themselves that they've put off for a really long time. So that's just amazing to watch. And then in the center of it, I get to sort of run the show and teach the classes and get to know so many of these awesome people. And I freaking love it. What can I say?
That is amazing. It sounds like you love what you're doing. And what was that one moment influenced you starting Girl Guitar?
Well, it was actually started by accident. It's kind of a funny story, but I had moved to New York City for a little while, and when I came back, I was broke, like people often are. Mm-hmm. And so it was the holidays. I couldn't find a job, and my cell phone got cut off, and I just really felt like I was sort of at rock bottom, and I threw together a women's guitar class just thinking, if I can make this work, I can pay my phone bill. That's as far as I was thinking. Mm-hmm. And I did make it work, and it was so much fun that we couldn't wait to do it again and again and again and again. And that's been, like I said, almost 13 years ago now. So, yeah, it's just, like I say, it was sort of an accident. I was just trying to pay my cell phone bill, and I stumbled onto, I hate this term, but I guess I stumbled onto my life's work there. It's something I'm incredibly proud of.
That is something, too. And where can they get more information on Girl Guitar?
Well, girlguitaraustin.com is our website, and everything there, it's all laid out there. Pictures, schedules, all the different information, and, of course, ways to contact me to answer questions.
That is amazing, too. And, of course, this all blossomed into quite a number of awards, like Nominee Entertainer of the Year, Female Artist of the Year, Josie Music Awards in Nashville 2018, Big Moon finalist in Great American Song Contest back in 2017. And just tell us about some of the awards and nominees you've been in.
Wait, I'm sorry. Tell me that.
Okay. I just want to make sure you're there. You had some awards and nominations like Entertainer of the Year, Female Artist of the Year, Album of the Year at the Josie Music Awards, Nashville 2018. You're the Big Moon finalist, Great American Song Contest a year before, and regional performer, semi-finalist, and just tell about some of the awards and the nominations and the experiences as well.
Well, it's been quite a trip, making albums can be such a scary thing. You do it because you love it and because you want to put your stuff out there, but you have no guarantees that anyone's going to listen or appreciate what you're doing. So when you get some sort of a validation, like a nomination or an award, on the one hand, it can be seen as superficial in the arts. We don't do it for other people, but it's also just really, really great and gratifying to feel appreciated. Everybody likes that, I think. So, I'm totally grateful for the attention that's garnered. That's been really, really helpful.
That is amazing. Really, that is amazing. Love to have you back on 2020. Talk about your album, maybe play a little more for us as well, too. And looking forward to having you back on. We have a few minutes here. We know you're very busy, but we love having you on. What do you consider most defining moment in your career?
Oh, that's a great question. Kind of like I mentioned earlier, I didn't realize this about myself, but maybe I don't believe exactly in defining moments. I think I'm more of a put your head down and work hard and bust through the obstacles kind of person. So I don't know if there has been exactly one defining moment, but it's just an ongoing thing. Being in the arts is lots of ups and lots of downs, and I really kind of dig that lifestyle, and it works well for me. So I hope that's not a disappointing answer, but I love doing the work. That's what it's all about for me.
Actually, that's a rather humbling answer. That's that's what you like to hear too. That's great. And also, who do you consider biggest influence in your career?
Well, my top three that I look up to as influences are, I never shut up about Tom Petty, of course. He's one of my absolute favorites. I'm a huge Neil Young fan. He's the reason I started playing harmonica in the first place. And one of my favorite all-time writers has got to be Lucinda Williams. So off the top of my head, I would say those are my top three.
That is amazing.
It changes a lot.
That's amazing, too. I'd love to have you back on and play some Tom Petty with a harmonica. That'd be great, too. And
God, you got it.
All right, we're on for 2020. And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
Oh, man, just get out there and do what you love. It doesn't pay most days, but it's worth it. But it's still worth it.
I love it. I think that inspires me to do what I do. That's fantastic. And Mandy, just want to say a big thank you for your time. You've been fantastic. Once again, Mandy Rowden from Austin, Texas, singer-songwriter, multi-instrumentalist, my special guest on the Mike Wagner Show. And before we go here, tell us about your upcoming projects, your website, how do people contact you, where can people purchase and listen to your music, and the information on Girl Guitar.
Yeah, well, my personal website is mandyrowden.com, and it has links to all my social media, as well as a store for vinyl and CDs, and there are links to Spotify as well. And for Girl Guitar, you can go to girlguitaraustin.com, which has all the info there, and ways to contact me if anyone were to have questions or want to get involved.
That is great, too. All right, great. And Mandy, just want to say a big thank you for your time. Once again, you've been fantastic. Looking forward to having you on again soon in 2020. And do us a favor, keep us up to date.
Definitely will do. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate you.
Thanks for listening to The Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and themikewagnershow.com. Please support our program with your donations at themikewagnershow.com. Join us again next time for another great episode of The Mike Wagner Show.